And we are back. And on this 29th day of our 31 Days to Halloween, we caught Evil Dead 2 from 1987. This is rated R with a runtime of 1 hour and 24 minutes. We caught this on HBO Max, but it's also to buy rent on Prime Video. This is tagged as B horror, dark comedy, farce, folk horror, slapstick, splatter horror, supernatural horror, zombie horror, comedy, and horror. And comes to us from director Sam Raimi, with writing credits to Sam Raimi and Scott Spiegel. In this, Ash Williams, the lone survivor of an earlier onslaught of flesh-possessing spirits, holes up in a cabin with a group of strangers while the demons continue to attack. This is absolutely in the pantheons of horror comedies. This has influenced so many, and I love that you see the influences of the previous masters in Sam Raimi's work. This is a love letter to the horror genre, mixed in with a little bit of comedy and silliness and just excruciating slapstick for poor Bruce Campbell.
It's just endlessly abused throughout this entire movie.
Endlessly abused by the diabolical Sam Raimi. I think we got that from, you bought his biography, right?
Yeah.
If Chins Could Kill.
If Chins Could Kill, I believe he said that there's that one scene where Ash is initially attacked by the presence in the forest, and the camera is basically mounted on something, and he himself is mounted on something where it's him spinning. And he's going through the forest and he's spinning, and there's branches just hitting him, and apparently it's just Sam Raimi off to the side of the camera just wailing on him and telling other people to just, come on, keep hitting him more. So he went through hell making this movie.
Bruce.
I mean, it's funny, all the stories they have, like so much of it was lost. Old footage, old set pieces, and they really just suffered making this movie. There was like no air conditioning. It's just blazingly hot in this makeshift cabin.
Well, the Raimi Mobile.
The Raimi Mobile is in it, of course. That car has to be in every single movie that he does. And yeah, Bruce Campbell is just getting the crap kicked out of him by everybody, including himself, because he's doing all those pratfalls.
Yeah.
And as much as you say this is a love letter to the horror genre, it's also a love letter to things like the Three Stooges.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, we saw what might be one of the best films of the year in theaters, Weapons, which also is horror, but there are comedic elements to it, and it's
not like this, though.
Not like this. No, not like this. But I bet Zach Krieger has watched Evil Dead 2 and has loved Evil Dead 2.
Yeah, I think you have to watch this movie to do anything really in horror.
It's a prerequisite.
It's a prerequisite.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So let's get into it. Did you see this in the theater?
No. I was too young to see this in the theater when it came out. I do remember the ads for it. I remember the skull with the eyes looking out at you. I remember seeing little bits of it on Siskel and Ebert. I don't remember if they liked it or not. Probably not. When I did finally get to see this, I enjoyed the hell out of it. It was right up my alley. Oh my God. This was everything I loved. Just the insane gore, the ridiculous one-liners, the way Bruce Campbell is just beating the crap out of himself. The scene where he's just smashing plates over his head because his hand's possessed. Just how he was like acting, where it's just sort of like, all right, let's go, Groovy. There is so many little subtle things to just the 80s in this movie.
Yeah.
When Henrietta, he's beating on her, and then she starts getting up, and she's literally hulking up. She is doing like the hand wave that Hulk Hogan would do when he would be like charging up after getting beaten on for the entire match. Exactly. It was a little boy's dream.
Yeah.
It was just everything we could want.
I think absolutely to your point, Three Stooges / horror is what this is. I remember seeing this in the theater with my brother and his friends, and it was definitely Mystery Science Theater 3000. I don't think anyone took this seriously. I don't think you're supposed to. I think it has like horrific elements because it's the sequel to the first one. But I think it was more like, at least to me, I always found this as a comedic movie. I never really thought, like, I don't find any of this terrifying.
Well, I think when I was little, when I was like the first time I saw it, I would be like caught by the jump scares and whatnot. As I grew older, obviously, I started appreciating it more for comedy in it. But when you're young and when you're first seeing it, yeah, there are some moments where there's tension in there. When he's going into the fruit cellar and he's getting the pages and you don't know where Henrietta is. Those moments, yeah, though you might feel a bit tense, you might feel a little bit worried. At least I did when I was a little kid. Now I'm calloused and old and my heart is turned to stone. But yeah, back then I may have been a little bit frightened, but the comedy bits just really...
They still land.
They make you love this movie.
Yeah, and they still land. I mean, we're sitting there watching this how many years later, and we're still laughing.
Still laughing about it. When his girlfriend's head bites his hand, and he's like going around the cabin just smashing it into walls and hitting it with books, and the head's just like, rah, rah.
I got news for you. You know what? This movie is 38 years old. 38 years old. How old was I when this came out?
12 or something?
No. I was 15. Yeah. High school. Yeah, I remember. I remember this film. I was always hanging out with my brother and his stupid friends.
Well, nobody was taking me to see this.
Oh, sorry. They were taking you to see my dinner with Andre?
No, I didn't have to see that, but White Nights. Oh, my God.
Oh, you love that.
Gregory Hines and Mikhail Baryshnikov.
You love it. Ugh. When you watch this, what do you think of, just out of curiosity, as far as influences, like previous influences, and then what do you think of future influences? I think you said something while we were watching it that I kind of want to talk a little bit more about, but I just want to get your perspective as...
I mean, as far as the way this film is, I mean, there have been so many horror films where they've taken the camera and held it low and carried it through either the woods or some other area where it's just sort of like moving along, and that's the perspective of the entity or the monster or whatever. And that's 100% Sam Raimi. He did that. He put the camera on the end of like a big metal pole, and so he could like smash it through car windows and whatnot.
This is absolute guerrilla filmmaking.
Oh my God, yeah, there was a lot of inventiveness here, and it's sort of like a carryover, I guess, from the first one, because the first one was as low budget as this may be, and apparently the budget was larger than we expected. But the first one was just absolute bare bones minimum. I mean, they're using like really rough claymation in that one to get some of the creature effects in that. This one was
cutting edge for 87.
Yes, head and shoulders above the first Evil Dead. I think I feel like the first Evil Dead was kind of just like a test print that they used to eventually make this one, because there's no real continuity between the two. Ash is not the same character from the first one. He didn't go to this cabin, watch all his friends die, and then just suddenly decide, hey, I'm going to go back to this cabin with my girlfriend. So yeah, this is just basically a remake of the first movie.
And what do you think about like influences on Raimi as a director? You already highlighted like Three Stooges and...
Oh yeah. I mean, you could see he definitely likes that sort of slapstick comedy kind of thing, where there's a lot of physical humor. And Bruce Campbell clearly was a fan of that as well, considering the acrobatics that he performs doing this. When everything in the cabin is laughing and like he starts like mimicking the lamp, it's very reminiscent of like old cartoons where you're sort of like bobbing up and down as you're laughing. There's so much of that when Jake gets stuck in the door and the lady's just slamming the door on him. It's ridiculous. There's so much ridiculousness. I already mentioned the scene with Ash's girlfriend biting her head, biting his hand, and him rolling around the apartment, bashing it on all these different things. Definitely a lot of old slapstick humor.
Agreed.
And then on top of that, you just have the gore effects.
Yes, I was going to go into that.
That was sort of more. That's more in keeping with I guess, his contemporaries, because this was the time of like real splatter effects in movies.
Right. I feel like
blood squibs and pumps squirting blood out. There was a lot of movies that came out around this particular time where you had that, especially like low budgets, usually direct to video sort of things.
True. And I feel like in the 80s, there's like a resurgence for horror, and we're now, this movie's from 87, so we're kind of at the tail end of the 80s. And if you think about like 60s horror, 70s, like the Italian horror, and now you go into the 80s, and horror in this country, I feel, makes sort of like this renaissance, right? I mean, not that it ever went away, but you have your Jasons and your Freddy Kruegers and your Michael Myers and your Pinheads and all these other things that came out in the early 80s that transcended, and a lot of franchises, right?
Oh, yeah. I mean, this was when you got so many sequels for films like Friday the 13th, Halloween, Nightmare on Elm Street,
Hellraiser. I mean, even to some extent, even though it started in the late 70s, Phantasm, which we talked about earlier.
Phantasm, which has far more sequels than I even realized.
Yes. I was surprised about that, too.
Yeah. But this also really embraced the whole supernatural gore fest. Yeah. I remember people losing their minds over, oh my God, this Friday the 13th is so violent. And then when you watch it, you're just like, what the hell are these people talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah, this was gory. This was arms getting cut off, heads being chopped off, people being just drenched in gallons of blood. When Jake gets pulled into the to the fruit cellar, it's just
guys.
It's hilarious because she's just like holding onto his legs, and suddenly it's just like, and it's just like a fire hose of blood. Or when he's shooting at the wall and there's just like a geyser of blood shooting out of the wall into Ash's face.
Him, yeah.
And then it just all gets sucked back in. This was also very surreal.
Yes.
Because there were things happening that suddenly...
And then you go into reverse.
It goes into reverse and it's not there anymore. And there was a lot of weirdness going on in this film. But all of it was... Yeah, you could see it in other films of this time. I would say the thing that this pulled in from the past was the slapstick humor. I feel like that kind of humor kind of lost or faded away. You didn't really see a lot of slapstick humor, at least not like this.
Right. And also not mixed in with horror.
Especially not mixed in with horror.
I feel like 80s horror was strictly 80s horror. Like you have your Fright Nights and your...
Yeah, if there was humor involved, it was sort of like an aside.
Yes.
This was leaning into it very heavily.
Yes,
agreed. And that's what makes this film such a classic. It's endearing.
Yes, and it
has a lot of endearing qualities. The sort of the cheapness of it, the DIY-ness of it, the fact that it also had a lot of craft to it. I mean, the monster effects. Those are costumes.
Yeah.
Poor Ted Raimi.
Who also gets abused in this film.
Yeah. I mean, from what I've read, that room that they were in when he was in that Henrietta suit was like
1,000 degrees.
Yeah, it was like upper 90s to 100 degrees. Plus, then you have the lights that they have it under. Plus, he's in a latex full body costume.
Yeah.
And apparently when they would take that suit off, it would be literally filled with his sweat.
Oof. I can imagine. I can imagine.
So there was some suffering going on by those actors, but it looked good. Henrietta looked good, both in her disgusting, decrepit witch form and that crazy, like, monkey head.
I love, because we watched it with the closed captioning, and it said monkey chittering.
Monkey chittering. And then, like, at the end when he's beheaded and you just see like the sort of snake neck and it's just like making like like a balloon losing its air. Everything was just awesome. I love this movie. I
too love this movie. If I was going to give this a number between 1 in 10. Originally, I was going to say 8.5, but I'm going to give this a 9. I think from where it starts to where it ends, it's not a long film, and it's quite the journey. And you can see the influences of the filmmaker and see how this filmmaker has influenced other horror stories, and it is magnificent. Everything there, this is pre-CG. This is all practical, and it is fantastic. Obviously, looking at it, you can see that it's from a bygone era, but it still holds up well. The story moves along quickly. It is funny, and parts, there are jump scares, but not too many, and it's just such a great snapshot of late 80s storytelling within the horror genre. I think, and if I was going to give this a number from 1 to 10, it's absolutely a 9, and sort of a gold standard for the genre and where we were in the storytelling process and how it's been so vital and influential for future tellers. And it's interesting because this property has been revamped in a way with these newer stories, and hopefully more of this. This was really fun.
Yeah, I also would give this a 9. I enjoyed this. I would say
Of the original 3 trilogy?
of the original 3, Evil Dead 1, Evil Dead 2, and Army of Darkness, Evil Dead 2 is the best one. Army of Darkness was more straight up comedy
yeah.
and I think maybe it lost a bit of its edge. However, saying that, the continuation of that, which was Ash versus Evil Dead, the TV
Brilliant.
show.
Oh, brilliant.
If you haven't seen that, you must go out and see it. It captures the essence of the second movie better than anything than I ever imagined.
Yeah.
It is just such a great... The fact that they were able to capture that essence and put it on a show that went on for, I believe, 2 seasons was amazing. And Ash's character is amped up to the point where he's just hilarious. The things that he's saying, the action going on is just, it's grotesque.
3 seasons.
Oh, it was 3 seasons?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
3 years, 3 seasons.
It was, the humor was grotesque and hilarious, and it was great. That is the continuation of that. Now they've sort of rebooted the Evil Dead mythos, I guess, and it's not funny at all.
No.
They've decided we're going to take this more seriously.
And lean into the horror.
And for some people, that's good. For me, I like my Evil Dead funny.
Yes, agreed. Absolutely.
I could see gore fests elsewhere that are done better. I wasn't really a big fan of. I didn't really watch the reboot of it, the just Evil Dead, but I did see Evil Dead Rise, and that I wasn't kind of. I didn't really enjoy that one.
I caught the first one, the other Evil Dead film. I wasn't sure what to expect, and I think I thought that it would be more funny, but it absolutely veered more into the horror element, which obviously I don't have a problem with, but I think it just took me by surprise because it's definitely more splattery body horror.
Yeah, like I said, I didn't see the whole thing. I only saw bits of it, and it looked nice.
Yeah,
I can't really judge it. I did see Evil Dead Rise though, and while I could appreciate it for being a horror movie, I just didn't feel it was really written that well as far as the characters went.
I don't remember too much, but it is by Fede Alvarez, who we liked earlier this year. We saw Alien Romulus.
Alien Romulus was great, but in Alien Romulus, I felt the characters were stronger.
Yes.
Whereas in Evil Dead Rise, I felt...
Well, no, he didn't do that one. He just did the first Evil Dead in 2013.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right, never
mind. I don't know
then.
who did Rise.
All right.
I didn't particularly care for that film.
Yeah, it was
disappointing.
It was mediocre.
Yeah. But this is excellent.
Evil
and
Dead
to
2,
your point,
excellent.
Ash versus Evil Dead, I would give that a 10. It's on Stars for anyone that's interested. Absolutely check that out. But first,
if you loved Evil Dead 2, check out Ash versus Evil Dead.
Absolutely. But first, absolutely check out Evil Dead 2 from 1987, rated R with a runtime of 1 hour and 24 minutes. What a minimal investment of time for such great rewards. This again comes to us from director Sam Raimi, with writing credits to Sam Raimi and Scott Spiegel, and you can catch it on HBO Max. Before we wrap up, I want to remind everyone to please support our friend KT. We'll have her link in the blurb for donations to St. Jude's Children's Research Hospital, and a shout out to all the October birthdays, but in particular to our pumpkin pie. We love you, kiddo. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And with that, we'll wrap it up and bid you all a
Good night.
see you tomorrow. Good night.